Welcome to the channel. My name is Jodie Knight. I'm just going to have a quick run through of the Tesla chart for Tesla Tuesday. I'm not going to talk too much about the Trump and Musk interview, mainly because I've not had time to listen to it all, and secondly because it hasn't really done much for the price action on the chart. So today we're just going to look at the daily chart, the weekly chart, and the options as usual. When I'm back from holiday, we'll take a deeper look into the interview and talk about what was discussed. Okay, jumping straight into the daily chart here, because we're getting a lot of inside trading bars here. I thought we would pop out of this given the interview was happening, but it hasn't taken place. Still a lot of indecision. Pre-market, we're up a little bit, but everything's kind of up a little bit, so not too much exciting going on today, as far as I can tell, which is kind of nice to see for a change, just holding steady. But for the most part, we're still looking at the same levels, keeping above this purple trend line. That's nice to see. It's really struggling to break out of this bull market band though, but it is looking quite bullish here. I think Tesla price is a little bit ahead of itself, so I don't mind a little bit more downside. I will be buying more if it comes back down to this 175 area. But for Tesla, it normally does run a little bit hot, a little bit above where you'd expect it to. Mostly people wanting to front run price action for the next few years. And I think because we're looking at a price much higher than it is today, it's going to keep it higher. As long as Tesla can deliver on its promises, that's going to be good. So mainly I'd like to see it stay in this area. But I'm happy if it goes down or up, so that's nice to see. And the RSI is kind of flat. The thing that looks more bearish on this chart is that the moving averages on the MACDX Plus indicator are coming together. The whales, they're kind of hanging around, but they're not over the 50% mark that I'd like to see. Things are just kind of ticking along. So I think we're going to get a breakout soon in either direction. Judging by this, it looks like it could be a bearish one, which, like I said before, I think that 174 is going to be a key area if that happens. And with flow looking flat, I think that's looking quite likely. The weekly chart here looks a little bit better. We had a nice bounce from this peak volume shelf here, which also coincided with the historical resistance level. So that was a really nice place to bounce. Given the drop off here, I think it wants to go lower, but it could bounce here. I mean, this candle here was very indecisive. It didn't really do anything. I would have liked to see it confirm a little bit more in either direction, but I think that's going to come this week. At the end of this video, we'll take a quick look at the data that's coming out. I haven't looked yet, so there might be something there that might trigger some movement. But for the most part, we're still in this long-term kind of trend here, but we're starting to want to push more above it. We had the 1, 2, 3 here, and then a breakout and then break back below. Initially, it would have been really nice to see this hesitate and chop around here, but I mean, given that this is a multi-year position for me, I'm not too concerned about price action chopping around in this area, but it's probably going to provide a lot of opportunity for short-term traders as well. So I might start looking at some shorter-term swings on this. It's looking pretty good. The RSI is flat on the weekly, which is nice. The golden cross still looks good here. Institutions still look decent, and flow is flat. Taking a quick look at the open options interest. It looks quite bullish for this week so far, but 260 is going to be the cap there. I mean, I'd be impressed if we got there. That'd have to be quite a launch. So it's quite impressive that people are still hanging on to that. I don't think that's very likely. But if we zoom in a little bit, the strongest resistance we've got, funnily enough, is $200, which is probably what's helping us stay under this level. If we take a look out for next week, it does seem to change a bit. A lot of people sliding their targets up, but then conversely, so there's a lot of people sliding their targets down. So I think we're just going to maintain some chop around here for the short term, unless something fundamentally changes, probably until the Cybercab event thing that's coming up. But I mean, that's a while away yet. If we take a look out to Jan 2025, people are starting to get a little bit more bearish on this in the short term by the looks of it. I don't know, I just didn't zoom out far enough. So the high targets here are 610. I mean, that's quite ambitious. That would be a very large move in it for less than a year's time. Half a year's time about, in fact. I think that's more likely for the end of 2026, given that a lot of Tesla's upcoming products won't be launched until 2025, probably late 2025. So they're not going to be huge needle movers in the short term. If we take a look at 2026, don't know why I can't see more higher targets on here, but still a lot of high strikes coming in here, and still a lot of bearishness as well. So Tesla really is a bit of an options play. You're either betting that they can bring these new products to market successfully and then expand them and then cut cost, or you're betting that they can't do it and it's just going to be priced as a car company alone. So personally, for me, it's a great options play without having to get too far into derivatives and whatnot, but to each their own. So there's quite a lot of important data out this week, actually, which is probably why the market's kind of holding its breath today a little bit. We've got PPI month over month this morning at 1:30. I'll be out, so I won't be able to comment on that. And Wednesday, that's the big day, core inflation month over month and year over year coming out, and some CPI stuff. And then Thursday, retail sales. So actually, given it depends a lot on what this data is. If this data is really supportive of a cut coming, we could see Tesla launch, as I think a lot of people kind of put that with the risk on category. And given that they're big ticket items, the cost of credit is really important to their business model. If we look further down, building, that's not going to affect it too much. Consumer sentiment's good to know, but not essential. Yeah, so actually, this is quite a big week. Wednesday, I'll try and be online for when this data comes out, but no promises. Might be having a pool party, but we'll see how it goes, and I'll see you tomorrow.